I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 1949. And today we are talking in depth about the anatomy of an online membership community like Land Academy. And a little later in the episode, we'll talk about how Jill and I went from chasing pennies to making millions, buying and selling land.
Cool. Is it autonomy or anatomy? I'm like, what is the proper word that we're doing here?
Anatomy.
Anatomy. Okay, got it.
What did I say?
I don't know. I don't even know. I looked at it because it's not the topics. We sit down and we brainstorm and come up with these ideas. And then when I finally sit down to record, they're all changed.
Yeah, we agree on everything, theoretically, yep. Jill and I, and then I change it all.
Totally.
And I don't tell her about it until the camera's turned on.
Exactly. Exactly right. I get to roll with the punches. You have no idea how hard this is.
And it's not, that's not the only situation where that happens.
Oh, no, everyday life. Every day. What kind of car are we getting? Oh, we're getting this now. Great.
Each week, moving on, Jill. Each week we answer questions.
Throw your partner under the bus. This is throw your partner under the bus day. I like this. Sorry.
You ever see that one classic Saturday Night Live where
bring it.
He says they're sitting there, they're doing the newscast, and he sits there and looks at the camera and doesn't like what she's saying, and he says, "Jane, you ignorant slut."
Yes, I knew you were going to go there. That's your favorite episode. It was 1970 something.
I know.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Each week we answer questions from our Land Academy Discord forum. We review land acquisitions from our weekly Thursday member webinar and take a deep dive into two land-related topics by request that I mentioned just a few minutes ago. Let's take a question posted by one of our members on the Land Academy Discord online community. If you want a sneak peek at the channel and you're not a member, please go to landacademy.com and check it out. It's free.
Yep. Aaron wrote, I have a property under contract to buy, and it's the Land Academy style purchase agreement, so we know, and in escrow. I was at the 2-yard line waiting for the seller to turn docs to title when the seller went silent. Fast forward a couple of months, and I find out another flipper is marketing the property. I believe they are acting as a wholesaler. I believe this particular group teaches that a contract is a contract and advise recording memorandums if sellers try to back out. Now the seller wants to sell to me since I'll pay cash right now and get it done. I've had it under contract this whole time, and it's already still in escrow with the title company, ready to complete it and close in a couple days. Any advice on this one? I'm pretty sure I have a buyer, and I should make $70,000 minimum on this, by the way. What a mess.
Close it. That's my advice. God. And everybody else on Discord said the same thing.
Yeah,
just get it done.
You were first in line. We can go back to the data thing, and then if there's any, that's not bad advice. If anything comes back, it's really kind of on the seller. He's the one that was being weird and playing the games.
I think that there's a bigger issue here, and I think that in every real estate deal, in every environment, there's a chance that stuff's going to go sideways. It happens to us all the time.
Yeah.
Probably 20-30% of the deals that, stuff happens. There's more taxes than you think. There's availability for the seller to sign is not as easy as we all thought. So, okay, 10%.
10.
The real issue is that I think you should have that conversation, and I know Jill does, have a conversation with the seller, real person to real person, and say,
it's kind of, dude, why'd you do this?
Or
you kind of goofed yourself up here.
Just during the process of their agreeing to sell the property to you, and you've got the price down and it's in escrow, I think it would be very appropriate in a Jill style way to tell the person, there's people send out mail all the time. I really want to get this deal done with you. And if for whatever reason anyone reaches out, another buyer reaches out, let's just get this deal done together. I'm good for it. What do you think about that?
Is there a way to say this that you could say, I didn't hear that. Oh, hi, hello, whatever you just said, let's start the conversation over again. So you're calling me back now because you're ready to close. Yep, done, let's do it. Is there a way to do that? That's what I would do.
You're the expert.
Okay. That's really what I would do. And then I would, it's ding dong buyer. The whole point is too, I talk to people a lot that like, oh, I sent out this mail, I have these offers back, I have 20 staring at me, I'll get to them. I'm like, you guys, time kills deals.
Yay.
So you need to act on that. And I've even had it, the other way, where if you give me too much time to think about it, I might find a better one and I want to put my money over there
Yep.
instead. So, yep.
We have our transaction coordinator that works directly for Jill. She's been with us for years. Can close deals in, less than 7 days.
So with title insurance, you need to, and that's the world we're in right now. It's not the last summer where it took them, 2 months to close deals in some areas. They have laid off title agents and they're looking for work. They're willing to, come up with some great rates for you too, by the way, as an investor, and close them much faster.
That's a motivating, that needs to be shared with the seller also. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you're going to have your money. You're going to be cashed out of this thing in 7 days. We just did it last week.
Yeah.
That would motivate me. That would motivate me to adjust my sales price for some reason.
True.
And, in the buyer's favor.
Right.
Today, Jill and I are going to talk about the anatomy of an online membership community like Land Academy. This topic came up because we are now in career path number 6. Mm-hmm. And Jill and I are constantly talking to members and to each other about how we can improve our membership community. And so over the years we added Discord. We improved Discord over landinvestors.com.
Oh, we're going to make that even better too. We're looking at bringing in a Discord Pro to clean that up and make that better.
Right. And that's just one example. We are launching in about 8 weeks for Career Path alumni only, Land Academy Pro, where we share the actual staff that Jill and I use to buy and sell land. We share Jill's transaction coordinator, and we share my staff on offers to owners for you to get your mailers done. Mm-hmm. And it's on a schedule. So you have a schedule. Like we were telling the Career Path people, you can't miss. A very common issue is that comes up for people in Career Path, or really anyone in general, is procrastination and not sticking to a mailing schedule to reach your goals. So Jill and I listened to that and said, how do we do it? Well, the truth is, we have people that work for us who make sure we stick on that schedule. That's their job.
I'd like to go back to the it's just now coming to me. The whole reason you put this in here, Jack was asking me, like, what would be key if you, Jill, were part of an online community? What would be the one thing that would keep you there? Why would you be there? And I said, well, I have some great examples. I happen to be in an RV group, right, on Facebook. And I love having this group. It's at my beck and call, that I'm constantly like laying in bed, trolling through the conversations, picking up little nuggets of stuff that may or may not apply to me someday, but at least I know how to solve it. Like, hey, our slide weren't working, what did you guys use, kind of thing. And I now have a lot to know. I've learned a lot about this particular model and what's recommended and what's not recommended to use on the slides and things like that. But the main thing is, for me, I love reading all that and being part of it, but knowing that they're there. And I don't abuse that. So I was just telling Jack this morning. So I joined this new group. We're changing our rig out, and I'm all in the new group, learning about the new brand and everything that we're doing. And I don't want to abuse the community. So I'm going to research. I'm going to read to soak it all up. Get to learn the tone of the community first of all. Then like I said, I'll use the search function to try to find my answer first, because there's often so much content about the topic du jour, or it's on, what you need that day is already in there. I'll use that. Then if I don't, then I will really nicely, politely reach out and go, okay, now I need you guys. What do you do about this? And knowing that they're there for me is what keeps me being a part of this. It's not about the money, not about the cost. If it was like $1,000 a month, I might think twice about it. I don't know, but it depends on the value I get back, actually. I might pay that, depending what's involved. But just having them there is what sings to me in an online membership community.
I think it's really difficult, if not impossible for me anyway, to be in a community without like-minded people.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason that this topic really came up is because we had again, we're in Career Path. We had the first session of Career Path. I think there's 15 or 18 people in there. More than that. Actually,
15.
There's 15.
16, I think. 16.
But some of them are couples, so there's probably 20 people in there. Yeah. And we went in the first session, we would go around the room and everybody explains who they are, how many deals they've done, what they want to get out of Career Path, so Jill and I can custom tailor it for the next 8 weeks. And we were this time for some reason, very, very like-minded.
Yes, you know what that is? It's a community inside the community. Which is really cool. That's kind of what Career Path is. There's Land Academy as a whole, where we have people doing all different kinds of deals, all different money amounts, all different whatever, and then we have, we're here to hit it home.
Yeah.
People.
So that's the whole point. It's like,
yeah,
we all have a common goal. We want to make more money.
That's a lot of people in Land Academy. I think that's how a lot of people find us too, because they're like, all right, I realize you guys are the ones that know how to take this home. You guys are the ones that know how to automate this stuff. You guys know the ones that not have to work that hard. You guys know how to, long time ago stopped buying for $1,000 and selling for $3,000
Right.
or $99 a month, or, know, and I know that's coming up in a minute, but yeah.
I belong to a group called Mobile Home Park University, which is, the mobile home park version of Land Academy. Will I ever buy a mobile home park? Probably not. But I just love hanging out with these people.
Yeah.
They're very like-minded, and we don't just talk about mobile homes. We talk about all kinds of stuff, financing or, managing, like having just managers and dealing with managers and dealing with, residents and all of that.
Is that what keeps you from doing it? Like, I have nothing against buying and owning a mobile home park, but I know you do, and I bet that's it. It's probably the people part of it.
If it's
My land doesn't yell at me.
Look, I can go. That's a show,
right?
I can go spend a couple $1 million cash on a mobile home park, and then I can get it back, $10,000 a month at a time. That doesn't make sense to me, and that's the reason I don't buy a mobile home park. It's not so much the people or the tenants or any of that. I'm
still back on my thing. You know what? I love on my land, and my land loves on me back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
So communities, you have a lot of choices out there, ever-present more communities, and to choose from, I really would recommend you get to know yourself first, and then if you're part of the community that you feel like you fit in, we all need that. We all need to be part of a community where we fit in, or multiple communities.
Isn't it funny? Remember the first community we had? That was Success Planned.
Yeah, Success Planned.
So we launched Land Academy in 2015, and the very first thing our new customers said is like, well, we need to communicate.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So we made Success Planned. You made it. I was off. And
Jill went on vacation.
I did.
And I bought an 8-pack of Red Bull and built a website called Success Plan.
It was very nice. And then it became Land Investors. And now it's Land Investors / Discord. So yeah, super cool.
So if you have any suggestions about how to make Land Academy better or how it would work better for you, please let us know on Discord.
Please send them to make up some other site.
You know what else I heard, I understood, and I'm listening, is, we want a community. This is what multiple people have said to me over the years. We want community where it's not just necessarily about land. It's about being successful. And that's what ManPlan is. If you go to manplan.com, MANPLAN, and put in your email, I will with Jill. She and I are going to release, a whole program that's much, much less expensive than Land Academy, but it's about being successful and surrounding yourselves with other successful people.
You know what? I can't wait to do this.
And we're going to make fun of the other gender quite often. And that's a two-way street.
Yeah, it is. I look forward to that. That's going to be fun. I know that we're going to offer something great for the Land Academy community right out of the gate. So there's going to be like a lot of people in there right out of the gate. It's going to be awesome.
So much there's, I guess you could put it in the self-help space, but it's not. It's more for professional people that want to, in Land Academy, we constantly are preaching about have a schedule, have a calendar, have goals, understand in great detail what your goal is at the end, and then work it backwards and to create a schedule for yourself to make sure that happens. And people, for some reason, people don't do this with their other stuff in life.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't have a plan. It's a man plan.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at one of our favorite land acquisitions from the weekly Thursday member webinar.
Orange County, North Carolina, purchase price $130,000. Broker said at first glance he thinks it's worth $200,000, but he's going to dig a little deeper. Appears to have access at the two roads, hence the lightning bolt, exactly. Heavily wooded, great market, no floodplain, no HOA, no utilities. So I expect all that. So
I bet this is ag too.
In 10 acres.
So
this
is a perfect comp right here. It's like what's possible here.
Can I see the legal stuff, if you don't mind, please? AR, look at that. That might check that.
It's ag.
That could be
Let's see what this is.
AR.
AR. So this is agricultural property, period.
Probably. Let me see one more thing, guys.
Sold for 61 and 17. Yikes. Darn it.
That doesn't work for me.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. That's
755. Yikes.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary. This is a scary price. I would try to get it for 20,000 maybe. Kill your own deal.
Yeah.
It's just too overpriced.
Sorry, Carl.
Yeah.
That was too much. Let's check the next one. We got another one here.
Let's take another question posted by one of our members on the Land Academy Discord online community. Again, if you want a sneak peek at our Discord channel, please go to landacademy.com. It's free.
Okay. Michelle wrote, I have a seller who reached out wanting to sell 0.93 acres he bought at a tax sale. There is no road access or document easement that I can easily access. He is eager to sell. I may be able to get it for $1,500. It's nearly next to Blank River in Oklahoma, but not in a flood zone. Only one adjoining neighbor. The county was not helpful on it. So about the access, the seller said there's a lane that goes around the community and an offshoot that goes right to the corner of our property. So physical. The group next to us are an investment group that owns that property. So I would notary close on this one. Oh, there's more to it. Sorry. I would notary close on this one, but I'm likely to pass. But what's your advice? So for $1,500 for an acre, if it's worth it, I would roll the dice and probably do it.
So would I.
Okay.
But I would not notary close. I would get title insurance.
I don't know, for $1,500.
And I would send somebody out there and see if they can get to it. If they're crossing over anybody's property. Jill and I built this entire company. Actually, honestly, before Jill and I joined forces, I built the entire company on accessless property. I don't recommend doing this all the time, but I guess we buy property without access once or twice or 3 times a year.
Usually there's one or the other, physical or legal. So it sounds like this one probably has physical access. The very first thing I would do right now too, Michelle, spend $200, $250 with drone, and have someone go out there.
Me too.
And take all kinds of pictures, get you drone footage driving up to it, pictures going up to it, so you really know what this is.
And ask the drone person if they can get to the property.
You'll find out.
Make sure you give them good GPS coordinates.
Give me your list of photos, what you want. I want this angle, that angle, this angle. I want to know how far, I want to pictures of the sweet little town. You're going to give them everything that you would give them as if you were going to, list it yourself and market it yourself, and you need the photos ready to go. So worst case scenario, you get it and you don't like it. You're like, oh, okay, I'm glad I didn't spend any more money on this. So what? I'm out $250. Big deal. Best case scenario, you're like, oh, I see what's possible and I see how great this is. So now my photos are done.
So it's back tax property. And if you close with a notary, you will not find out if there's any flaws in the title or a clause in the title at all. With the title insurance, some stuff's going to come up, and there's a chance that
You still have to pay more to get title.
Yeah, there's a chance that they won't insure it because it's back tax property, depending on when the seller purchased it. So you want all that stuff to come out because, and I'll tell you, I'm saving the best for last year. How much freaking money are you going to make on this thing?
That's what I was just going to say. If it's a buy for $1,500 and you know it's worth $20, then like worst case scenario it's worth $20, then I would go down that path.
If it's a buy for $15 and sell for $5,
yeah, I'm not
it's just
into it
not.
now.
I would just move on.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you. Glad we're on the same page. It's so nice how often we're on the same page.
When the camera and the mics are on, we're always on the same page.
Oh, isn't that funny how that happens? Oh, I don't know. I am sure if you've been listening and or watching us for a while, as 3 of you have, you can tell like, oh, somebody's pissed today.
Yeah.
Or, oh, somebody's hungover today.
Yeah. If you go way back to the beginning, where it was just audio, this is show number what?
1949 or whatever.
Almost 2,000 shows. So back in the beginning, we didn't know what we were doing. Like, we don't really know what we're doing now either, but back in the beginning, we really didn't know what we were doing. And it was, Jill's always
patient.
Looked at this podcast as my doing
hobby.
And she believes that she's gracing my presence by showing up and doing me a huge favor to sit next to me on my podcast.
That is, well, it's partially true. Because it started as your podcast. I was the fill-in.
Not so much anymore.
I'm
but
still the fill-in. Nobody else will show up.
Jill and I are in a relationship. And
kidding.
When she's mad about other stuff, which happens because, we're in a relationship, one of her ways to punish me is to just not really be okay on the podcast or show up late or all that.
Hilarious.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
We all have our stuff.
Let's see. Let me look at your eyes today. Go ahead.
I had my 2 5-year plus managers from Land Academy are in town here in Scottsdale from Los Angeles, and we have been doing I'll call it research together.
Mm-hmm. All right.
In front of glasses.
Thank you.
Today's second topic is called Jill's going to talk to us about how we moved from chasing pennies to making millions buying and selling land.
So I love this. This came up from Career Path the other day again, and we just had our first session the week of April 10th. And one of the things is we're talking about, why are you here? We go around the room and say, who are you? Where are you located physically? What do you want to get out of this? And number goals and, level of experience, basically. And I wrote down some fun comments that people made, and one of them was, I'm done chasing pennies. I'm like, oh, I get that. I really get that. And what's funny is we were talking about this morning, and for a while that was us. That was, so I really, really understand and appreciate that. And I wanted to kind of talk with everyone about, going from the mindset of, I don't need to work this hard for $399. I can do the same amount of work, maybe less, for $39,000, because that's the truth. That really is it. And I know that there's people that are in Land Academy and listening right now because that's where you are. And you're going, wow, it's like, it seems like a big leap. But when you really sit down and think about it and decompose what it's going to take, and then get I guess, hang out with those people, you start to see that that's really possible. Yep. And you can do it too. There's no reason why. anyone right now listening to this should be chasing someone for their $99 payment this month because they can't seem to keep on track, with their debit card balance. That's nuts. You don't have to do that. And the thing about it too is, how rich are you going to get then? How long is it going to take you to get? If you have, I don't care, you have 100 properties. Think about this. And I know a lot of people that have been in this situation, us included, that had, in their portfolio, had many people making $99, $149 a month on these payments. And you're hoping to, recoup this in, 3 to 5 years. That's a heck of a long time to, fingers crossed, babysit these people and get them to pay. And then those of you listening know what I'm talking about. The percentage of those that actually do follow through and pay are not really high. There's a lot of, we talked about this too with some the other day about, it's not funny when you have to keep reselling the property over again. You don't want to do that, reposting it and reselling it. So we understand, we've been there. And what I wanted to share is for us, it was really Stephen before me. He was the number one real estate person on eBay. He had an eBay empire. There were properties closing every single flipping hour.
Yep.
And there was a $2.99 or $3.99 prep fee. There were properties all over the country, $1, no reserve, 30-day auctions, let her rip. He had a huge office building and a staff to manage all these properties. So
did you find that attractive about me?
Nah, not really. I actually I did.
Jill's not.
I did what?
Jill's not impressed by money. It's very interesting.
No, it's kind of, I'm like, that's kind of cool, but can we go? I just want to go have fun, that kind of thing. Your office was nice. It was really cool. Like, this is your office, and like, why is it all glass? Everybody can see in here. It was like a fishbowl, but it was cool. Anyway, that's when I met him, this eBay empire. And then here comes 2007, 2008, right? You know what happened. And, eBay, I've heard people talk about recently too, Facebook Marketplace taking a turn like eBay did. And if you had all your eggs in one basket, that you're in a pickle. What do? You got to pivot, man. So that's one of the main things that we've learned over the years, and we teach at Land Academy, is you need to have more than one place that you're marketing, selling, working on these properties, so you're not dependent on something if it just changes gears real quick on you. So going from that environment to where we are now, it can happen really fast. You just have to, like I said, I think spend some time with people that are doing it. And that would be the Land Academy community, by the way. Follow us, ask some questions, and you can do it too. And it starts with day one, stop buying properties for $500, start buying properties for $5,000.
You have complete control over how much money you make when you buy and sell land the Land Academy way.
Right.
So let that sink in for just a second. I don't want to sound like your father, but I know I am. Complete control over how much money you make if you follow Land Academy 3.0. We don't send mail to properties that we don't send mail to small properties anymore that have no access, that we want to buy $400 an acre. I built the whole company back then on that model, which is not something we do anymore with intent. We send out mail for properties where we can buy between $20,000 and $30,000 and $40,000, and we know we're going to sell them for $80,000 or $90,000. Why? Because I need to make sure that we make more than $1 million a year. It ends up being closer to $3 million, the way that we're doing it, because if we net $80,000 or $70,000 and do one deal a month, which Jill can do in her sleep.
Oh yeah.
We make $1 million. We pre-tax net income, make $1 million. Then, let's say we want to do a deal every week, not every month, because it's just as easy. We have the staff, fixed cost staff anyway. Now you're talking about some serious real money. That's 50 deals, 50 times $80,000. It's a lot. There's
Now
your
we're at 4.
There's your $3 or $4 million. So you have control. How do I have control? You have control where you send mail. You have control for how much you're going to offer, and because you already know how much you can sell it for during the process of doing the mailer. And you know where the money is. There's tons and tons of people on our Land Academy Discord, Jill and I included, that'll fund your deal if it's any good.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you want to make more money, send out more mail.
The right mail.
That is not what other groups teach. You also have complete control over where you learn how to do this and what methodology you choose. Some of what I call our healthy competitors out there in the education space like to do terms deals. Other people like to do what isn't commonly known now as wholesaling, where you don't have to put the money. The attractant to both of those, it's not a lot of money up front. I'm not a big fan of those.
I just don't want to work. I want to make more money and not work that hard.
I want to control the deal. I want to buy the deal for cash and sell it very quickly for cash for a lot more.
Right. Well, like the question earlier in this podcast, someone else came along. That could have all gone sideways. Even though trying to buy it and close it, not only do you need to buy it, close it, and you own it. Now you just have total control. But you need to do it faster in some situations.
You have total control.
I will still run to the bank on rare occasions. I will run to the bank and get stuff done.
A very popular thing that you see in social media about any wealth education environment is no money down. And those other groups, it's true. There's no money down. You don't have to put any money into a wholesale deal. There's something really bad about it that doesn't sit right with us, and it never has. Buy the property. There's no money down here either, because if the deal's good, we're going to fund the whole thing and split it with you.
Okay, I have a question for you. Because you and I don't have any trouble with this at all. You and I we never have had any trouble throwing around these big numbers. But I know some people have trouble talking about, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been buying this for $30 and I'm gonna try to sell it for $120, even like $30,000. Like, that's a car kind of thing. But you and I are like, nah, here you go. I don't think about it. What is it? What do you think it is? Is it a learned thing? Is it past experiences? Like, why are we so good about it?
Somebody in a live,
Lord knows we've been poor.
Somebody in the live event said that for you to be successful in a Land Academy environment, you have to understand and agree with the laws of abundance.
Okay.
And so if the thought of writing a $30,000 check for a property that is well, you're pretty sure, pretty confident. That's what Discord's for, by the way, and that's what the Thursday call's for. We're going to tell you if you think you pretty quickly if you can sell it for $80,000. So, I honestly, here's the painful answer to that. You are not right for Land Academy.
Oh, because you have a stomach for it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't see any risk in this, and neither does Jill. From minute one, when we started working together, we were right on the same page and wanted to get rich together.
Right.
And had no issues. I don't look at writing a check for a piece of land or a house, or even when I know it's worth more, as any risk at all. I don't see any risk in it. I see a lot of risk in writing some checks.
Stock market.
Or buying a convenience store and then getting your money back at $12 at a time.
How about a pizza joint? See any risk with that one?
We've proven that there's risk in that.
Yeah. Thank goodness the land thing took care of all that.
In Career Path, again, we went around the room yesterday.
Yeah.
And everybody, there's nobody in the Career Path, I can tell you with confidence, that sees any risk in this at all. They just want to know how to do it and how we do it.
That's it. We know it's nice too. We've been around. We have enough examples, and it's not just us. That's what's great. Kind of ties back to our original topic, which is the community. When you spend some time, just spend an hour within the Land Academy community and start seeing the deals and reading. I think you can read success stories right now in read-only format on landacademy.com. You can troll through there and see some of the deals that people bought, what they bought for, what they sold them for. You kind of go, all right, it's not just Jack and Jill. I see 20 other people in the last 7 days look at those numbers. Some of those are even better than Jack and Jill's. Good for them. I'm like, yep. That's true.
That's great, Jack. It sounds like it's all peaches and cream, and you can just make as much money as you want. And why isn't everybody doing it then? And here's why. Here's how you fail at this.
Yeah, why?
Here's why you fail, and why people fail at it. They're not Jill. They don't have a dynamic personality. They have a mechanical engineering, dry, low voice, and talk on the phone. No one's going to sell you their property. You have to
You could hire that.
grow a dynamic personality or find a partner.
Yeah.
Think about think about starting a band. If you're the guitarist and you're writing all the songs and you're very talented, the first thing you do is look for an amazing front lead singer. Mm-hmm. Joe's the lead singer. I'm the guitarist.
Oh,
you need a dynamic show person, or you need to become that person. I can do it if I had Jill's job and it was successful. Mm-hmm. I hated it.
Yep. I was going to add, because in our live events, this was a common theme a few years ago, which was just add a zero. Everybody's like, okay, I'm going to add a zero. So you can baby step your way up. You can go, all right, and if you're not comfortable going from buying from 1,000 to buying from 10,000, do buy for 5, then buy for 10, then buy for 20.
And get a personality.
Then buy for 40.
Take a public speaking course or join a group.
Fire your partner and get a new partner. Mm-hmm. Just kidding.
That's right.
Fire yourself.
Fire yourself.
That's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a show.
Oh, that is true. But you can baby step your way up to where you are comfortable. And I promise you, when you look back and see that, wow, I just plopped down, $65,000 on this property. I didn't even think twice about it. You're like, well, now look how far you've come. You did it. Now it's not scary at all. And then you start throwing around some big numbers, buy for $1 million. And I actually don't like those because they just take too long. I don't have the patience. There's often, a special use, commercial properties while you're buying for $1 million when it's worth 2.5 or something like that. And it's zoned a certain way and everybody's got to have a traffic count and all this stuff. I'm like, I lose interest. No, I don't like it. It's not nut. That's our bucket. What bucket is that? 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bucket 3 property.
There you go.
Bucket 1 is buy for 30, sell for 80. Quickly. Mm-hmm. That's the bread and butter. Bucket 2 is, buy for 30, listed for retail at 140. Might take a year. I'm okay with that.
Because you hope you end up with it anyway.
Bucket 3 is you're going to...
That's him.
Bucket 3 is do some stuff to it, like minor split it, clear it out, deforest it. There's all kinds of things. I'm not a fan of bucket 3, but I am a fan of bucket 2.
You love bucket 2. You know what's funny about that? Truth time. We have a property in bucket 2 right now that's in Prescott, Arizona, that I'm actually thinking about, maybe we should build on that dumb thing.
I was thinking that too, or put a mobile on it.
Didn't they put a well and a septic in already? I think it has.
It's got
something.
the greatest view there ever was. We bought it for next to nothing.
View. It's
total bucket 2 property, and I honestly don't want to sell it, and it's priced that way.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens. Oh my gosh. Everybody thinks that Jill must be the sentimental one. Nope. I'm like, sell it. Rip the Band-Aid off. I'll get another one. It's fine. It's like, ooh, did you see the view? Did you see the waterfall? So anyway.
I bought and sold a bunch of property a really long time ago and realized that that's what I want to do. And didn't make, just exactly what Joel's describing, didn't make a ton of money on it, but the light bulb went off over my head. And I immediately sought out people who owned a lot of property and found them, sent them faxes, or back then I just found them. Most of them are licensed real estate agents, so they're easy to track down. And I called him and said, I want to buy all your... That was
like 2005.
I want to buy all your property. Yeah, it was like 2000 actually, all of it. And we put a deal together, and I was writing back then $250,000 checks, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 checks for,
for a lot of
80
property.
or 100 properties.
Yeah.
And the returns on that were staggering.
Yeah.
For the first real big deal I remember, I did like that, a multi-unit deal. I was $87,000. It was a ton of money at the time. Still a lot of money. And I got back like $2.1 million over time on eBay.
Yeah. Hence the office building and the staff and all that's involved.
So that's why I'm not, to answer your question now, I'm not gun shy at all about writing checks for dirt. Especially with Jill, because if some stuff goes sideways, she will dynamic personality her way out of it.
I'll get it.
I've seen you do that multiple times.
Thank you.
If we have property laying around, it's because we want it. We want it. It's because Jill hasn't really, decided that she wants to smash it out of our inventory.
Or it's just like, we'll get to it. It's funny. So good. You win when you buy it. That's the whole point. So let's take a look at another one of our favorite land acquisitions from our regular Thursday member webinar. Floyd County, Indiana, 7.12 acres. Purchase price, $92,560. Hoping to sell it for $175,000. Don't have an agent yet, working on it. Great access, middle school nearby. Pond on the site with flat, not in the floodplain.
I was waiting for the fence here.
Yes, this is good.
Indiana's so tricky price-wise. 6 acres for $130,000. This is active. 40 acres for $200,000. 8 acres for $440,000. Days. Price cut. This is Indiana.
It's great, but it's a little too expensive still.
You think?
Yeah, buying for 92. 7 acres buying for 92. I'd like to buy it.
Well, this is very similar. You guys are the deal killing squad here. You and Brandon.
Yes, we are.
I haven't said anything yet. I'm still biting my tongue. I'm trying to look it up.
Freaking.
Brandon and I are secretly going.
It's true though. It's true. I kill so many deals. It's ridiculous.
It is. Steven sometimes, he used to listen to me on the phone going, how do you even telling me, like, how do you sleep at night? like, here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna pay this and that's it.
These are big numbers, guys.
Wow.
Big numbers, okay? I wouldn't kick this thing to the curb at all. And so before we go getting a price adjustment, I would go really seriously this is agricultural property too, probably.
Confirm that.
Yeah, it did look like it.
Confirm it and get a whitetail or whoever. This is.
Oh, he did.
This is, this is forest. That's agricultural property. So with drive up access and a storybook setting. So.
And a pond.
Yeah, and a pond. So I love this deal, and I would try to determine what price it really needs to be. Might be the price that you have right now. And it looks like it is to me that it's okay, but I wouldn't let this deal go.
Yeah.
Figure out a way. Jill, you have something inspirational to share.
Okay, I want to read a little note that was placed in Discord in the closed career path. I see it. Channel to me, and I thought it was so sweet, and I just wanted to share it here and hit this point home. It says, I've been applying Jill's method for phone calls with sellers, which she goes over in the podcast on January 18th, 2023. A seller told me yesterday, quote, I like your personality.
I love this.
And this is a woman, by the way. I want to say it's a woman writing this. I like your personality. You are not like the others who want to buy my property. They were rude and acted like they were doing me a favor. You listened, but they would not even let me get a word in edgewise. I have more land for sale coming available, and I'd like to do business with you, end quote. So thank you very much, MB, for sharing that. I love that. And I just want to talk about the power of, what you talked about a few minutes ago, Jack, about, being that person and getting them on the phone and winning. It's really about winning them over. You just have to remember with these sellers and, with these offers that are going out, it's nothing personal. And your job when these calls come in, just like MB did, is to quickly get a relationship with them, see if you're on the same page, if they really want to sell, and get a number from them. And in that process, listen to them. Be that person. Why do they disagree with your price? What's going on? Whatever it is. And I bet that she has even more to share about the story. It's probably, it could have been a buy for 10. He thinks it's worth 20, but at the end she gets it for 11. Because that happens. Like, you know what? I like you, and I just want to get rid of it anyway. So you know what? If you make it this number, then I really feel good. And then everybody wins.
When does ramrodding your personality into somebody get you what you want?
Right?
Does it work with your children?
I know.
Does it work with your wife? No, it doesn't. So why would you do that when you're not going to get you what you want with the seller either?
No. You really aren't. So, and if you do, so I just wanted to share that story, talk about for a few minutes. And I wanted to say too that if that's not you, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're like, I don't have the patience. Maybe you want to do this, but you're like, I just am not. I don't have that voice. My voice is too deep. I don't know, fill in the blank. I just can't sound like that person, no matter how hard I try. But I know what you mean. Well, then go get that person. Yep. You can hire that person. And you could even use somebody like Pat Live. They have been doing it for us and members, off and on for years. I like to say that part of Pat Live is there's a huge component of that's Land Academy. And they take care of you, and they know what we need, and they know how to do this. So Jack, what do you have informational to share with us today, please?
I would like to talk about a healthy dose of self-deprecation. I think that nobody wins. Look
at how funny this is. Talk about yin yang, positive, negative. Oh my gosh. Okay,
I'm not a big fan of people blowing their own horn.
Like I just did.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. I can handle it. Go ahead. Bring it.
I'll never forget this conversation I had in college with the girl in my dorm. And she said, "You're really hard on yourself, and you have some really serious issues. You need to see somebody. You're not a big fan of yourself, are you?" And I just laughed and laughed and laughed. I obviously remembered it forever. And it still makes me laugh. No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how great I am. I'm not going to tell you about our balance sheet and at all. I would rather talk about how I screw stuff up all the time and have a healthy dose of self-deprecation and reality.
I get it.
I think it's very healthy to not take yourself too seriously.
Do you remember what it was that she was bringing up in college?
I don't know. And you know what? She's not the first person who said that to me over the years.
I was shocked.
And it's not gender specific.
I know.
People, it's just, and I think that, earlier you guys were talking about how the eBay marketplace has changed, how Facebook marketplace has changed. And I was sitting here thinking, well, Jill is, taking over the show like she does.
Yeah.
About public marketplaces and communities online, public ones always are deteriorating.
They beat up people.
Land Academy is not public, and it gets better and better and better all the time. And then I started thinking about big cities are always in a state of entropy, or a state of slow death. And rural communities
what the heck
seem to be always getting better.
There's a positive. I'm like, whoever's listening right now, I could just feel your shoulders getting lower and lower and lower. Like, yeah, live in San Francisco, right here. I get it. Like, what the heck? It's what? So I would like to say that I do agree with you on having, I look at, you know what I call it? Having a good sense of humor and being able to accept and learn from your mistakes and when you move on. And for me, that was very hard. So I don't call it self-deprecation. That's way big words for me.
Wait a minute. Learning from your mistakes is hard for you?
It used to be, because I didn't want to make any mistakes.
What the hell good is that, Joe?
I know. Don't look at. I know. I've been working on this for several years.
Where does that come from?
My dad. Oh, boy, remember the whole spilling the milk thing as a kid?
No, explain it, please.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. If my children are listening, and I know they're not,
Kids don't even know we have a show.
they'd say she did that to us too. You're not like I broke a light bulb last night, remember? And I actually didn't care, but it used to be if I dropped and broke something, big trouble, man. Don't spill. Don't break anything. Heaven forbid your car gets scratched and stuff. You take good care of things. My dad was like a very much a perfectionist about things like that. I would overdo things to make sure I'm like, oh, don't make a mistake. Make sure you do it right. So
I think being a perfectionist is the fastest way to being always disappointed.
yeah, that's about right.
I really mean it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything healthy with expecting that everything's going to be perfect all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
I think
was
laughing at yourself
I was proud of myself
because you
last
broke
night.
a light bulb.
Oh, I broke
is
the
really
whole
healthy.
thing blew. The whole.
really?
Oh yeah, the whole.
Did you get it in your eyes or anything?
No. It was because the glass there was protecting it. I was with my bare hand though, holding this light bulb.
I'm a man.
I know, but you weren't here. Remember, you were out last night with the guys that you were doing research with.
You have a man for this stuff.
I know, but I blew the whole backyard went dark. I'm getting a ladder now, and I'm getting a broom.
Oh,
but that's okay. Hey, I'm very proud of myself because I fixed it, solved it, laughed at it, and here we are. I got this.
You should start taking out the garbage too.
If
you need some stuff to do.
Thanks. Well, if you keep doing research at the level that you have been this week, I probably will be doing all your chores too.
Join us next Wednesday for another interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property
and do others' chores.